Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. We are going to praise Paige Bueckers. Yes, we are. Now, hopefully she doesn't get any backlash from this in terms of how she's treated on the court or maybe just behind the scenes, how she's treated as well, because she went there, folks. Paige Bueckers had the nerve to go where no other player has gone before. Yes, that is what I said. As you can see here, people come in and tune in for Caitlin and end up fans of so many other athletes. Paige Bueckers. Now, as we know, that is not something that players are allowed to say. And we're actually going to listen to her talk a little bit here. But as you know, players have absolutely denied the Caitlin Clark effect. They want nothing to do with the Caitlin Clark effect because they really are that dumb. They just don't get it. They don't want to get it. The jealousy, the hatred, the has blinded them to the truth. They need Caitlin Clark, and if they do things right, they benefit from Caitlin Clark. I don't understand why it is so difficult to understand this. So let's take a quick listen to what Paige Bueckers has to say about the Caitlin Clark effect.
How are you approaching this game from all the hype?
Yeah, I think every game, personally and honestly, is circled for me because every single time I get to go out there and play the game of basketball I love, it's a blessing and you never take it for granted. I know Caitlin's been dealing with this ever since probably high school, where every single game is going to be sold out. Everybody is coming to watch Caitlin. And I think it's just brought so many more eyes to the game. And like I've said before, people coming into it for Caitlin and end up fans of so many other athletes. So to be able to play on this platform, to get more eyes on the game, to get more respect for the game, because I think when you watch, we perform, and the return on investment is great. So it's just a great opportunity for all of us.
How are you?
How difficult is it? I mean, look, it's so wild that I sit here and I praise Paige Bueckers for her courage. Isn't that wild? I mean, we would never even think about that if this were any other league. But the WNBA is so unhinged, so up in their feels, so full of petty jealousy because a player is popular, that it is like, wow, oh my gosh, she spoke the truth. She said the simple truth of what happens with a popular player. Caitlin's been dealing with this ever since high school, where every single game is going to be sold out. Everybody's coming to watch Caitlin, and it's just brought so many more eyes to the game. People are coming into it for Caitlin and end up fans of so many other athletes. How is it that no one else understands this? How is it? I don't, or maybe some of them do, but they will never admit it. I guess that's possible. But I think for many of them, they're so filled with jealousy that they simply cannot bring themselves to get this thought into their brains. And here it comes from someone who's got a pretty good following herself, right? Paige Bueckers is not unpopular as a player. Look, Caitlin Clark's fandom is in a completely different universe, but it is not like we're talking about somebody who's the 12th player on the bench for a team that no one's ever even heard of. Paige Bueckers, UConn, just won a championship. Apparently the Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark, even she recognizes that, hey, you know what? Caitlin's got that kind of motion. Caitlin's got that kind of aura. Caitlin's got that kind of fandom, and we can all benefit. Look, we'll even just leave it to the Fever. How many Caitlin Clark fans out there? And I know, thanks to the front office and Steph White, some of you are a little shaky on it. But so maybe we'll dial it back to last year or even just going into this year. How many Caitlin Clark fans became true Fever fans? Or at the very least, you're Aaliyah Boston fans, or you're Kelsey Mitchell fans, or you're Lexi Hull fans. And a lot of you who are that now probably never even heard of any of them until Caitlin Clark was drafted into the WNBA. And yet now or Sophie Cunningham's another example. Now, I mean, I did a video on it, right? It's a Sophie Cunningham went from like under 400,000 followers. I think it was on TikTok. I believe it was TikTok. It might have been Instagram, but I think it was TikTok. And now she has like 1.1 million after that Connecticut game when she pulled JC Sheldon to the floor and then, stood up. Her and Lindsay Allen came after Sophie Cunningham, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm not moving." Grabs Sophie Cunningham in the Muay Thai clinch and just gives her a scolding. Absolutely fantastic. And her TikTok followers went from like 300 and some thousand to 1.1 million in the span of a few days, I believe. And that is, again, that is the Caitlin Clark effect, right? We all know that was Caitlin Clark's fans who said, "Damn, Caitlin Clark finally, in her second year, had a teammate actually stand up for her on the court. And we are going to reward her by giving her a gazillion more TikTok followers." And yes, by the way, shout out to, I think it got lost because of Sophie taking it to the next level, to a level that we've never seen any of the Fever players. It got lost that right away Lexi Hull did get between JC Sheldon and Caitlin Clark and was like, "No, we're not going to have any of that." So of course, shout out to Lexi Hull as well. But there's another great example. How popular is Lexi Hull now because of Caitlin Clark? Let me know in the comments, how many of you Caitlin Clark fans who didn't even know Lexi Hull existed until Caitlin Clark got drafted to the Indiana Fever, and now you are huge Lexi Hull fans, and you will buy Lexi Hull's jersey, or maybe you've bought Lexi Hull's jersey, or you buy other merch that she's involved in or things that she's endorsed because you have become a fan of Lexi Hull and the way she plays the game, all because of Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston, same thing, right? We've talked about that previously. Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin Clark fans love watching Kelsey Mitchell play. Yeah, I know we get a little at times because sometimes she gets, she reverts to the Kelsey Mitchell one person team at times, but we're Kelsey Mitchell fans. You're fans of other players in the league. Do you, man, I should have had the number. Apologize for not being prepared. I didn't know I was going to go here. I should have had the number in front of me, but what was it? Like 2 years ago, I forget. 2 years ago, Nafisa Collier, I don't know, had 40, 50,000 votes or something like that for the All-Star game. This year, at the first, release of the number, she had almost 500,000. I think it was like 484,000 votes, second behind Caitlin Clark, and not that far off. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Nafisa Collier got almost 500,000 votes for the All-Star game? I will tell you. Thank you. Thank you for wanting to hear it from me. Or at least thank you for pretending to want to hear it from me because you probably already know what I'm going to say. Oh, I just had a flashback to the end of the movie Serenity. But anyway, Nafisa Collier got almost 500,000 votes because a whole lot of Caitlin Clark fans have become Nafisa Collier fans. That is why Nafisa Collier got almost 500,000 votes. And I'm sure it's over 500,000 now because voting kept going after that. But that is the Caitlin Clark effect. Shout out to Paige Bueckers for actually putting that out into the universe because I don't think, Aaliyah Boston does touch on it. But okay, outside of the Fever organization or a couple of players on the Fever, no one else ever talks about it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Also, let me know players that you are big fans of now that you will follow and do follow that you found out because you were a Caitlin Clark fan and started watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. Also, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you as always. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.